The moment you open your eyes, your fate is already written. You wake up one morning in 1300s Europe, but not like other babies. There's a darkness in your bloodline, not heavy enough to kill you immediately, but not light enough to set you free. Women passing by your window hastily make the sign of the cross. Children approaching your door suddenly change direction. Stones are thrown at your house walls at night. Your mother spends her days on her knees. You're only 4 years old, but it's as if your sins are already too numerous to count. Your father isn't home. He has work. The kind of work that makes men grimace and spit when they hear its name. When you turn 6, an uncontrollable curiosity takes hold of you. One afternoon while your mother sleeps, you venture toward the forbidden zone, the village center. The square is crowded, but this isn't a celebration. The smell hanging in the air disturbs you. Metallic, sharp, something unfamiliar. People have formed a circle with a wooden structure in the middle, and there, a man with a strange covering on his head. Hands experience, movements practiced. Face, you recognize that face. Your heart races, you can't believe it. The man under the hood, the man who brings bread to your table every evening, your father. When you return home, you remain silent. Days pass. Eventually, you can't bear it and ask. After a long silence, your father places his gloves on the table, palms stained, fingers hardened. When he begins to speak, his voice is monotone, as if he's told this story 100 times. When someone is suspected of committing a crime, they need to learn the truth. But truth doesn't come by itself. I'm the man who brings it. So your father is a master of pain, society's secret officer, the one who extracts confessions. When officials summon him, he uses his tools to uncover the truth, or what appears to be the truth. What's worse, this profession isn't voluntary. Nobody wakes up in the morning thinking, I want to work in a torture dungeon today. This job passes through blood. Your grandfather did it. His grandfather did it. Now it's your father's turn. And tomorrow, the words freeze in your mouth. Tomorrow, it will be your turn. In one corner, you dreamed of blacksmithing, being someone who makes tools, who builds things, or perhaps working on merchant ships at sea in distant ports where nobody knows you. Maybe entering a monastery, being on the side that saves lives. But city officials have made other plans. Your family has a record. Without your permission, without your choice, you've been written on a piece of paper. Next generation officer. Other professions forbidden. Moving to another city forbidden. Your lineage has you chained. On your 9th birthday, there's no celebration. Just a basement, a workbench, and metal pieces arranged on it. First, learn these, says your father. Each tool has a name, a purpose. Metal vise for thumbs, long rods for stretching, heavy chains for hanging. The first months pass with animal remains. Chicken bones, pig ribs, sheep jaw. You learn the break but don't kill rule. At what angle bones crack. At what point muscles tear. How much pressure joints can withstand. You learn to scrub the dungeon's stone walls with a mixture of vinegar and ash until your arms go numb. Because blood stains seep into stone, the smell never leaves. When you go home, your mother throws your clothes out the window, boils them 3 times, dries them in the sun. Still, that smell, a mixture of iron, salt, and fear, never goes away. When you're 10 months old, you're a first-time observer. A peasant in a dungeon cell. Crime unclear, maybe slander, maybe real. Nobody knows. Your father starts with questions. The man denies. Then the tools come into play. First the small ones, then the larger ones. Screams begin. Your stomach turns. You want to turn your head away, but your father's hand is on your neck. Watch. Get used to it. This will be your normal. Before the 3rd hour is up, the man admits everything. Crimes he didn't commit, accomplices he doesn't know, events that didn't happen, just to stop the pain. This is how a successful workday ends. At 13, watching is no longer enough. Time to participate. Your father gives you a simple task. Extracting a tooth. Go to the back. The root is shorter, he instructs, as if teaching baking. Your hands are shaking. There's pleading in the prisoner's eyes, but your father's gaze weighs heavier. Either you learn now, or I'll practice on you later. The first attempt is a disaster. Your hands lack coordination. The prisoner feels sick. You feel unsuccessful. Again, says your father, and again, until you forget the trembling. And so it happens. Weeks later, pulling teeth becomes as ordinary an action as drinking water for you. That's when you realize you've lost a part of being human. At 16, you begin anatomy lessons, but not from books, from living examples. Your father demonstrates, if this vein is cut here, much blood is lost, but death doesn't occur. When this nerve is pressed from here, arms become paralyzed, but consciousness remains. When this joint is bent at this angle, you're mapping out the human body's endurance. How long people can hang, at what point they faint, which pains are unbearable. The most important lesson, fear is stronger than pain. Sometimes just showing the tools is enough. The human mind creates the most terrible scenarios on its own. They introduce you to the Iron Mate, a metal coffin filled with spikes inside. Adjust the spikes to pierce limbs, not vital organs, says your father. The art is in prolonged pain, not quick death. On your 19th birthday, your first solo assignment. A woman said to be cursed by her neighbors. No evidence, just gossip and fear. You start gently, questions, logic, persuasion. It doesn't work. Then you bring the tools into play. First small pressure, pictures, then hanging. Then the woman's family is waiting outside. The children can also be questioned. You say, "You're bluffing," but the woman doesn't know. Within minutes, she confesses everything, that she flew, danced with demons, spread disease, all fabricated, but the file closes. As the crowd burns the woman, they applaud. You go home and vomit. Years flow, your skill increases, you earn the nickname Bone Scholar. Terrible but effective. Thousands of confessions, hundreds of executions. Your success rate is high, your fame widespread. But there's a price. Nobody sits with you. Children flee from your shadow. They make room for you in the market, but from fear, not respect. You live in a hut outside town. Your only companions are the sounds that come at night. Screams, pleas, moans. They echo in your head. You turn to alcohol. Maybe it will erase the memories, but it doesn't. It only blurs them. You're outside married, but you find a way with someone else marginalized by society. A prostitute considered as tainted as you. Together, you share loneliness. 20 years later, you're the most feared man. Your name makes criminals tremble. Then your wife becomes pregnant. Twin boys. For the first time in years, you feel hope. Maybe they can escape. But at 45, your hands begin to shake. One day you miscalculate. A prisoner dies before his time. A scandal erupts. More mistakes. Reputation damaged. And now only one solution remains. You summon your eldest son to your room when he's 14. You look into his eyes. "This is our path," you say. "No escape, no choice, but you can survive if you become better than me." Your son cries, tries to escape. 4 days later, he returns hungry and exhausted. There's nowhere to go. The curse finds you everywhere. You begin his training. You see your own youth in his eyes. That moment when innocence dies. At 53, you bid farewell to life. A good age for your profession. Most of your colleagues leave in their 40s. Your sons bury you in a separate area, away from clean people. No priest comes, no prayers, no mourners. Only your family carrying on a curse that's continued for centuries. For you, it's finally over. Nightmares stop. Voices fall silent. But your son's story is beginning. And right now, somewhere in town, a 5-year-old child is trying to understand why people recoil when his family passes by. This was a real part of European history. Torturer families took on this role for generations, without any option, without any way out. Society used them for dirty work, then ostracized them forever.